WCBI News at 10 starts now.
A proposal to fund roads and bridges in the state is raising concerns with one of the men in charge of roads and bridges in the state. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Quentin Smith. Last week, Lieutenant Governor Tate Reeves unveiled the Bridge Act. The proposed 5-year, $1 billion plus program is the Senate's answer to addressing infrastructure issues in the state. Northern Transportation Commissioner Mike Taggart says he's happy the state is addressing the issue, but he does have a few concerns with the plan. The Bridge Act gives the governor the power to determine which roads need to be built. Taggart says that's something that should be left up to MDOT. Lawmakers will also have to dip into the rainy day fund to help pay for the plan, which Taggart says is his biggest concern.
It has to be stable funding, and that's our concern, is that a lot of the resources that are being touted for the Bridge Act are dependent on economic growth. They're dependent on not needing those funds, existing funds, for other purposes in our state. And so that's really important to us, to make sure we've got stable, enough resources and adequate resources, but it's got to be stable and a long-term commitment.
The Bridge Act passed in the Senate last week and it now heads to the House for debate. Homegrown contractors now have a leg up on out-of-state companies when it comes to working on state-funded construction projects. Today marks the launch of the Hire Mississippi program. It's aimed at encouraging public utilities to hire more Mississippi contractors and provide more work to Mississippians. Mississippi-based contractors can register their businesses at hiremississippi.com, and every time a project goes out for bids, they'll get the notification and have first dibs.
I get sick and tired of driving by public projects that you and I are paying for and seeing out-of-state car tags, out-of-state workers, out-of-state truck tags, when we know that there are Mississippi businesses that can do this work. This program at hiremississippi.com allows every business in the state of Mississippi to know about business opportunities with our 5 major public utilities. This is available to every business in all 82 counties.
Northern District Public Service Commissioner Brandon Presley says last year, major public utilities in the state awarded $870 million in contracts just for operation and maintenance. Now he's hoping the Hire Mississippi program will help keep some of that money here at home. A new public education funding formula appears to be dead this legislative session. The state Senate killed the bill on a procedural motion this afternoon. Amory State Senator Hob Ryan introduced the motion. Now, he says the new proposal is based on faulty data and hasn't been thoroughly considered. Some Republicans voted with Democrats to help defeat this bill, which would have replaced the Mississippi Adequate Education Program with a new formula. Supporters claim the current formula does not equally distribute its money. Well, today is the qualifying deadline for congressional elections. Mississippi voters will have options when it comes June 5th when the primaries are held. Some of these races are gaining early and even national attention. Courtney Ann Jackson explains.
Now that it's a go for Chris McDaniel to challenge Roger Wicker in the Republican Senate primary, Millsap's political science professor Nathan Schrader says there's a common thread in this divisive race.
Here's the thing that's, I think, very different about this time and the last GOP Senate race in Mississippi that was national news in 2014. If you listen to the rhetoric coming from both the McDaniel campaign and the Wicker campaign right now, this is an election about who is the most compatible candidate with Donald Trump and Trumpism.
6 people in total now have their name in the hat for the Democratic primary.
If the Democratic race becomes one that appears to be very competitive, it will maybe tamp down on the possibility that Democrats could be picked off to go vote in the open Republican primary. But
the state's Republican Party didn't waste any time Tuesday in trying to make the connection to Washington. A release called David Beria Chuck Schumer's Mississippi man and part of the attempt for Dems to regain a Senate majority. The Democrats now have someone running in every House and Senate race in Mississippi. The party says they've already been doing a lot of behind-the-scenes work to get ready.
I believe that the current administrator in Washington right now has laid out perfect groundwork for us as far as messaging is concerned to motivate people to get out and vote Democrat.
Schrader says it's healthy to have candidates gearing up on both sides of the aisle.
Any race where you have competitive primaries especially followed by contested general elections that gives voters a reason to participate in the democratic process, that's a success.
The Columbus Airbus plant is about to launch a second commercial helicopter line. EMS operator Metro Aviation is buying 25 EC-145E helicopters. That's essentially a commercial version of the military Lakota helicopters built in the Golden Triangle. In fact, the new aircraft will actually be built on the same line currently used for the Lakota. No timeline has been announced for the start of the new line. And it's now time to turn our attention over to weather. Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson is standing by with a first look at our forecast. Keith?
Well, right now we have clear conditions developing around the region. A bright full moon shining overhead. That's a live look in downtown Columbus with our Alpha Insurance camera. Temperatures are still relatively comfortable and not too bad here. Low and mid 50s. We will continue to cool down into the low 40s in most spots here. So a chilly night relative to where we have been, and over the next 24 hours, we're actually going to be back up to around 60 or the low 60s tomorrow. Again, cool tonight, will rebound nicely, but we will be sunny on Friday and pretty sunny through the weekend too. The full forecast in just a few minutes.
Thanks so much, Keith. Hundreds of students from across the state were focused on finding solutions today at the Trotter Convention Center in Columbus. They were taking part in the Mississippi School for Math and Sciences annual math tournament. Students had 55 minutes to answer 20 advanced math questions without a calculator. Educators say the tournament is important for the high schoolers.
You have to do good in your class, like whatever your class you're in at your school is what you're competing for. So if you have like 97 or something really good, they probably choose you.
They just needed to know that math is so important to everything and make it a little fun.
Organizers say there were twice as many schools competing this year compared to last year. A local teenager is named one of the top youth volunteers in the nation. Our Allie Martin visits with a high school student who's being recognized for her work helping children traumatized by sexual abuse.
Grace McAllister has always pushed herself to excel. She's a straight A student, holds the title of Miss Blues Trail Outstanding Teen, and takes dance lessons 4 days a week.
I'm very busy.
The 15-year-old Nettleton High School freshman also collects teddy bears and stuffed animals for children who are victims of sexual abuse. The teddy bears are taken to the Family Resource Center.
They would give the teddy bears to the victims after their forensic interview. And these teddy bears, they're a reminder to the victims that they're not alone and that there are people out there who are thinking of them.
Grace knows how the victims feel. She was sexually abused by a family member for several years before the crimes were reported. Grace made a YouTube video telling her story and encouraging others to speak out.
I want to break the silence. I want to give a voice to the 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys who are sexually abused each year.
So far, more than 1,000 teddy bears have been collected, and Grace recently found out she was named a top youth volunteer in the annual Prudential Spirit of Community Awards. She is one of 100 youth nationwide chosen for the honor and will travel to Washington, D.C. next month for an award ceremony.
I was over the moon. I didn't expect it at all.
Along with the trip to Washington, Grace also receives $1,000 for being named a top youth volunteer. She plans on using that money to help other young victims of sexual abuse.
I could buy some more teddy bears, but I'm really hoping that I'm going to be able to open a camp up for the victims of abuse, and so that it's a summer camp and they're going to be able to go to the camp, and it's just a place that they can just relax and forget about sexual abuse for a little bit.
Grace hopes to use the recognition from her award to help even more victims of sexual abuse and to let them know there is help and hope. In Nettleton, I'm Allie Martin, WCBI News.
And Grace hopes to pursue a career in the medical field, and after high school, use her dance background to try out for a spot on the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
It is now storm season. We have storm spotter training classes scheduled in our area over the next couple of weeks. Amory, March 12th, Calhoun City, the 20th, Tupelo, the 29th, free and open to the public. So get out there if you can. The full forecast is next. Here's our off insurance time lapse from Vernon, Alabama today. Look at all that rain, the clouds we had earlier today. As expected, a dreary and damp start, but at least we saw a little bit of sunshine as we went throughout the course of the afternoon. But the last shower of this event moved through Vernon about dinner time. There it goes. And now we are looking at that bright full moon shining overhead. That was the view earlier this evening with some of those clouds departing from Kilmichael. Speaking of the full moon, we have one tonight, the full worm moon, the full sap moon, March 31st. That will actually be a blue moon, the second full moon in a month. So we've got full moons aplenty now that we have gotten into the month of March. And let's just say goodbye to February. It's been very wet. We're drying things out now. We will be dry through the weekend. Temperatures right now into the low and mid 50s out there. The dew point values, they are dropping. So the lower these numbers, the drier the air. Notice how we don't have any color here across northern parts of Mississippi and Alabama. That's the drier air that will continue to come on in as we go throughout the overnight and for the next few days too. There's a big area of high pressure back to the northwest that's coming on in. All of the unsettled weather now off to our east. So a bright full moon tonight, turning cooler, low 40s tonight. Winds continue from the north and northwest. 40s tomorrow morning, jackets needed, upper 50s by noon, low 60s across our region tomorrow afternoon. Not too shabby here as we close out the work week. A lot of sunshine, sunglasses needed all day long on Friday here. And farther south, it's actually looking pretty nice. Maybe you're going down to the Gulf Coast, to the beach, Biloxi, Gulf Shores, Destin. Upper 60s to low 70s for tomorrow. Same story for Saturday and Sunday too. So it's looking pretty nice across the entire region. Here's the big picture, the rain, the storms we had, and even snow up there across the Great Lakes right now. That is going to stay away. Speaking of high pressure, look at that. The center way up to our north. That's so far away from us, but that thing's pretty big, so that will keep us pretty quiet all the way through your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, by the end of the weekend, we start to see more of a southerly flow, and we'll see a few more clouds come on in late Sunday, but we stay dry. Those showers out here across the high plains Sunday will be in here, it looks like, as we get into Monday night, and early Tuesday. So that's our next rain chance here sometime early next week. Dry through the weekend, comfortable during the day, chilly at night, a shot at freezing tomorrow night, maybe Saturday night as well. There's that rain chance, and even cooler air again by the end of next week with another chance for some frosty conditions. Quentin?
It's tournament time in Jackson. Robbie checks in on how our area teams are doing a little later in sports. Back everyone. Cardiac rehab can improve your recovery after a heart attack or other coronary event. But in tonight's Health Talk with Baptist, we find out it can also improve your long-term health.
Hi, I'm Kayla Pruitt, Director of Cardiovascular Services at Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle. Tonight we will discuss the benefits of cardiac rehab. Your doctor may suggest that you take part in a cardiac rehab program if you have a heart condition, had heart surgery, or a heart attack. You will get an exercise plan that's designed just for you and learn how to improve your habits, like switching to a healthier diet and quitting the tobacco habit if you are a smoker. A cardiac rehab program, such as our certified program, also offers you emotional support. You can meet others who are going through the same thing you are and help you stay on track to maintain a healthier heart. The benefits of cardiac rehab include live longer and lessen your chances of another heart attack, control heart disease symptoms such as chest pain or shortness of breath, stop or reverse damage to your blood vessels in your heart, lessen the physical and emotional effects of heart disease, improve your stamina and strength, getting you back to your usual activities, including work, hobbies, and regular exercise. Improve your confidence and well-being. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle.
Coming up, highlights from our area evening games in the state basketball tournament down in Jackson. That's next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Robbie Donahoe.
13 games featuring area teams tipped off the 2018 MHSAA State Basketball Tournament down in Jackson on a Thursday. If you missed our morning and afternoon highlights featuring our 1A boys and our 4A girls area teams, you can see them all the highlights on our website at WCBI.com. Let's go to the 4A boys. New Hope facing Lanier. Trojans doing work today. Now, first quarter, they're trailing here. Tyler Stevenson driving, gets the basket plus the foul, cutting into the Lanier lead. And then later on, R.L. Maddox showing you the outside touch. Not so much there. But Andrew Junkin, when you have a 7-footer, just put it up on the rim and let him go get the rebound. He gets the putback. Lanier trying to answer. Here's Tyler Stevenson, says, nope, not my house. You're not coming in my casa. What a block there. And then more from the Trojans. Maddox This time going to get it to Junkin on the pass, not the off the miss on the three-point shot. He finished with the left hand. New Hope rolls over Lanier 78-50 as the Trojans are moving on in the 4A playoffs. But Knoxville County, boy, they were looking fresh with those uniforms, taking on Raymond. Trying to hang tough with the Rangers early on. Blocked here, Jaquari Smith driving, finding D'Antonio Deloach. He gets the basket plus the foul there. The Tigers trying to keep it close. Now Knoxville going to lose the ball here. We're going to show you a couple dunks from Raymond because these guys can get up and get down. Shardarian Allen, my word, leaves it for Cameron Woodall for the two-hand slam. And then Knoxville still trailing here. Tigers turning it over again. That Raymond pressure was relentless. And Shardarian Allen, this time he gets the dunk as Raymond extending the lead. But Knoxville trying to answer, try to keep it close here. Kalen Malone going to find Jaquari Smith inside for two, but too much from Raymond as Knoxville's storybook season comes to an end. Tigers fall to Raymond 81-57. So the Corinth boys facing Florence for a boys quarterfinals. We continue on. Early on for the Warriors, John Darius Warren to Dontavius Sheffield, corner three, yes, extending the lead. And later on, James Gardner finding John Darius Warren. He passed the last time. Here he gets a triple to go. Corinth knocking down from everywhere. And then big fella inside. Chiron Rogers for two right there. And then Warren going to go once again. James Gardner, don't leave him in the corner for three. That's nylon. Then more from John Darius Warren. We didn't see Taydot Strickland in these highlights, but he figured in obviously pretty significantly. There's a drive and a deuce for John Darius Warren. Corinth would get the win. They advance 67-57, the final over Florence. All right, moving on down to 1A girls. Pine Grove, defending 1A state champs, had a battle from Durant. Third quarter, Pine Grove has the lead, extending the lead. Haley Vick driving, gets the two, and then Lexi Elliott going to go inside. Haley Vick, two more. Nice rip through right there for that deuce. Fourth quarter we go. We're tied at 32 off the fast break here. Look at this great pass from Haley Vick up ahead. Lauren Elliott with the basket plus the foul, extending the Lady Panther lead. They're up one. Final seconds. Durant trying to score to win it, but they could not get a shot off, and Pine Grove wins it. They're moving on to the 1A girls semis as they survive with a 44-43 win over Durant. Over to Biggersville. It's Coach Cliff Little. Lady Lions taking on East Marion. Second quarter, Biggersville trailing. Nice shot put up there by Zina Taylor. She gets the friendly roll for the putback for two. And then third quarter, Biggersville still trailing, but playing hard here. Lisa Fryer, she's going to get the basket inside for two. And then Kanasia Barton is going to go coast to coast all the way to the rim for two. She gets that one to go. Biggersville kept it close, but really just never get over that hump where they can get past double digits. They fall to East Marion 51-32. A great season for the Lady Lions. All right, the final game of the evening. Tremont girls taking on Leake County. This one just went final. Lady Eagles playing a tough one and playing hard. Friendly bounce here on the jumper from Allison Hadorn as the Eagles cutting into that Leake County lead. Then later, Haley Robinson going to find Kaylee Rogers, who was wide open for three. She misses, but Kaylin Aders inside. She gets the putback for two. Tremont playing hard and keeping it close. Third quarter, Tremont down just five. Haley Robinson driving, cuts the lead to three. And then Robinson going to find Caitlin Graham in the corner. She hits the triple, but Leake County would pull away late. They get the win over Tremont, 50-43. Is that final. Again, Tremont falls to Leake County 50-43. All right, other scores. McAdams winning over Blue Mountain 56-53. A tough one for the Lady Cougars. They fall in overtime. They scored 4 points in the last 15 seconds of regulation to force OT, but ultimately not enough for the Blue Mountain Lady Cougars, but a great run to get to Jackson. So there's all of our games from the state tournament down in Jackson. Again, if you missed any of our highlights from earlier today, they'll all be online on our website at WCBI.com. SEC Women's Basketball Tournament action at the under 5 timeout. Missouri leads Ole Miss 47-33. The Rebels actually had this at a 28-26 game at the half. They were only down 2, but Matt Ensel's team has only scored 7 points throughout the entire second half, and that just sort of that's Ole Miss's big bugaboo this year. Is they play good defense, but they just can't seem to consistently score through stretches. So the Rebels are going to need a big rally to try to hang on and stay alive in the SEC Women's Basketball Tournament. We'll recap the game tomorrow morning on Sunrise. We'll talk a little more about that coming up tomorrow night as well. All right, so the news today in high school football coaching. Anawaya is making moves as head coach Ryan Keaton is stepping down to join the Tupelo Golden Wave pending board approval. Keaton was 3-7-8 in his 3 seasons as head coach of the Warriors. He's expected to be succeeded by defensive coordinator from last season, James Courtney in Anawaya. Again, that move is also pending board approval in March. This will be Courtney's first head coaching job. You can find more on this story on our website at WCBI.com. And also want to recognize Anna Parrish from Caledonia, as she signed her letter of intent to continue playing soccer at MUW following graduation. AC was a captain in her senior season playing as a midfielder for the Lady Feds. We also have more on her on our website at WCBI.com. So, fun day of basketball around our viewing area. We will be back in Jackson coming up tomorrow. The Ingomar boys and girls teams will be playing in the state tournament in the quarterfinals. We'll also get a chance to see Lafayette. We'll get a chance to see New Site, and also the Heritage Academy boys looking to make it to the state championship game in the MAIS overall tournament. They take on a really tough Madison Ridgeland Academy team. We'll have those highlights as well coming up tomorrow, plus Mississippi State women's hoops starting their journey in Nashville as well. So we got plenty of hoops. Hope you can join us tomorrow for all the fun. That's it for sports. We'll get the last look at your forecast next.
WCBI coverage of the SEC tournament is brought to you by OCH Regional Medical Center, Advanced Medicine, Compassionate Care, and Visit Columbus, the city that has it all.
The sun has returned. We are going to turn the Doppler radar off for a few days and not worry about any rain. Things will dry out. Pretty nice for you. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, cool at night, mild during the day.
Things kind of quiet and peaceful, I see.
Yes, things have turned around. A little bit of rain early next week, but let's just forget about that. Let's concentrate on this weekend.
So I can do an outdoor event this weekend if I wanted to.
And
don't got to worry about rain.
Don't play hooky tomorrow, though.
I can't make any promises on that one. Thanks for tuning in with us. Have a good night.